he got noticed that we were holding these live sessions. And so he contacted me asking me if he could join our service. And I found it, the timing of it was quite amazing, seeing the fact with what has gone on in Nova Scotia. So, you know, all of us throughout Canada and throughout the world, Monty, we share at the loss of the people that passed away during the horrific events of last week. So what I'd like to do is begin. What we're going to do today is begin with the we'll begin with the moment of silent meditation, and in particular, I'd like to express our thoughts as we sit quietly to those who lost their lives last weekend in Nova Scotia. Please join me in Gasho. Namandaps, 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 namandaps. Now we will be doing the sutra chanting, and we're going to be chanting the verses reaffirming the vows, the English translation of the Jusei Ge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bring it up on the screen, and oh, we forgot. I'll bring it up on the screen and share it with you so that you'll be able to see it as we chant. I did this in the Japanese, and it seemed to work out. Japanese service, and it seemed to work out quite well. So you should be able to see on the screen now the verses, or the Jusei Ge, or the English translation of that, verses reaffirming the vows. And we'll begin this chanting. So for those of you who are not familiar with the English chanting, we chant one syllable per beat, and where you see a hyphenation, it's 2 syllables in 1 beat. So you just bring it together. You'll get a hang of it as we go along. So we'll begin this chanting of verses reaffirming the vows, or the Jusei Ge. Namandaps, 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 namandaps. I have made unrivaled vows, and will reach the highest path. If I fail in any way, may I not attain Buddhahood. Should I not provide to all for countless kalpas to come, aid in times of suffering, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will resounds throughout the universe. May I not attain Buddhahood. I will practice a noble path, wisely, mindfully, free of greed. Seek to reach a supreme way. Be a guide to one and all. May my power shine great light to illumine and dispel the darkness of the three poisons, and save all from suffering. With eyes of wisdom I'll remove the darkness of ignorance. I will close all evil paths, open gates of highest good. When I attain Buddhahood, light will shine throughout all lands, light brighter than sun and moon, outshining all heavenly lights, giving my virtues to all, not forsaking anyone. I will proclaim the Dharma like the roar of a great lion, bowing before all Buddhas, steadfastly gaining virtues, with wisdom fulfilling my vows. I shall be a guide to all, like the wisdom of my teacher. May my wisdom also shine all throughout the universe, and illumine one and all. If I shall fulfill these vows, may all lands tremble with joy. From the heavens wondrous flowers rain down upon all the lands. Nama virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namanavs, 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 namanavs. Next, we have actually a little surprise for you all. Joining us today is, well, she has been for a while now, Tanis Moore, and from Manitoba Buddhist Temple. And Tanis is the minister assistant there. Tanis leads the services, many of the services that are going on. And let's see. Tanis, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. So what we're going to do, I've asked Tanis to lead us in the reading of the golden chain that I sent out. Tanis, I'm just going to bring the golden chain up so everybody can see it as well. And then I will have you read the golden chain. And then Tanis is also going to share a message with us as well. So just hang on a second, Tanis. Let me just pull that up. I'm sure many of you have already either printed it or have. Okay, let me just pull it up here. Okay, Tanis, if I can ask you to go ahead then.
Okay. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. In gratitude, may I keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living being and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that what I do affects not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also those of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanis. And if you want to just continue on with your
I was just going to
message.
bring up the fact that April the 25th is a Shini Day, Shini and Kokushini Day. And as we know, she was the wife of Shinran Shonin. And they had 7 children. Kakushino Shini was their youngest daughter. The Shini is considered the mother of Jodo Shinshu. When she was separated from Shinran, she sent Kakushini to live with him in Kyoto. After his death, he was virtually unknown. However, to keep his teachings alive, Kakushini built a temple enshrining an image of Shinran to spread the Nembutsu teachings. This mausoleum developed into an official temple named Honganji, and the rest, as they say, is history. In Japan, the Shini Day has been designated as World Peace Day. And I'd just like to read a very short paragraph from the book, The Life of the Shini. Excuse the phone there, I have to shut it off. Both Shinran and the Shini, being human, may have had a number of human frailties, but embraced by the boundless compassion of Amida Buddha, they were made to be fully aware of them and ultimately to live a life of deep gratitude and quiet joy. Thus, while they were physically separated later in life, they lived strongly and fully, manifesting the ideal of a Nembutsu practitioner. Please join me in Gasho Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanis. This is one of the, I think, benefits of using this Zoom is that we can truly be interconnected. And, as I was thinking about today's service, reflecting on it, I realized that this service is being broadcast over 6 different time zones. You have Hawaii, you have Pacific Daylight in the mountain, and then Central, Manitoba, and we have Eastern Daylight, and then Atlantic. So there's 6 different time zones that this is broadcasting. And it's truly amazing how this has brought so many individuals together. And I'm truly grateful for all of your participation. And, this past Thursday, so at our temple, even though we haven't been able to gather as a Sangha because of the pandemic, I've been trying to do many activities online using particularly this Zoom format. So every Thursday night, we also have the Seiza meditation classes here. And so this past Thursday, as I was in meditation, I was actually thinking about, the anxiety and uncertainty of our present time with the pandemic. And there's been recent news about mental health issues of people suffering during this time of the COVID-19 pandemic. And as I was thinking about that, suddenly this the words of the golden chain came into my mind. And it's funny how things work, because this morning, as I was having breakfast and getting ready to come to the temple, right by our Butsudan, this book caught my eye, and it's The Golden Chain. And this is actually a children's book that was developed by the Hawaii Kyodam. And in there, there's a little brief explanation of the golden chain and its origin. And I'm just going to read that portion of this. And it says here, and this was written by Bishop Eric Matsumoto, Reverend Tatsuo Muneto, and Dexter Marr. But in the beginning, it says here, hopes and challenges. Written in a plain and simple style, the Golden Chain of Love has attracted numerous children to the ethical teaching of Buddhism. It explicitly encouraged the children in Hawaii and the mainland USA to nurture kindness and love for all beings, animate and inanimate. Touched by the Buddha's loving kindness, the Dharma School children have become aware of their inner strength to protect the lives of other people and animals. Such is the power of the Golden Chain of Love. This short saying will continue to inspire children and adults to pursue the goodness of human life through the teachings of interdependence of all things and responsibility for helping one another. In order for the Shin Buddhist clergy and lay leaders to guide the congregation to speak the words of the Golden Chain of Love clearly and with personal appreciation for its content, it is necessary to understand the background, namely the author's intent in writing it, and change in wording that was made by the Honpa Honganji Sunday School Commission in 1970. Today, we live in an era of abuse, acts of violence, and discrimination, and confusion on a national and international scale. Standards for ethical behavior are being sought. Jodo Shinshu may be able to suggest principles of moral endeavor that are based on a natural and spontaneous human effort based upon the unconditional love and compassion of Amida Buddha. Then it goes and talks a little bit about the author of this golden chain, Dorothy Hunt. Dorothy Hunt's contribution in institutional problem. It is generally agreed that Dorothy Hunt wrote the Golden Chain of Love to promote the Eightfold Path, the basic Buddhist teachings taught to children. Her husband, Reverend Ernest Shinkaku Hunt, had a strong conviction that following the Eightfold Path would lead to the peace of nirvana. Other religious traditions and commandments as a guide. Other religious traditions had commandments as a guide to moral human life. Dorothy Hunt came up with the clear idea of writing a short saying as such a guide. She turned to the Eightfold Path and wrote the Golden Chain of Love as its summation. So this Golden Chain of Love was written by Dorothy Hunt in Hawaii. Now, what's interesting is that Dorothy Hunt actually immigrated to Hawaii from England with her husband. And I looked up a little bit of ancestry, and there's not much you could find about Dorothy Hunt. But what's interesting is that she was actually, from what I found out, it says that she is Canadian. So I don't know how she ended up in England, but her ancestry says she is Canadian. So this Golden Chain of Love actually was written by a Canadian, something that we could be very proud about. But what was interesting in this Golden Chain of Love, see, in this world of uncertainty and anxiety and mental health issues, I realized the Buddhist answer to it all is kindness. In the Golden Chain of Love, it is written, I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all those who are weaker than myself. So what's important here, the key words here are, I will try. See, what that means is that kindness does not just come about naturally. There is an effort that is needed. We have to make that effort to be kind to others. We have to be mindful. And that mindfulness comes from the realization of the interconnectedness of all of us. So as we listen to the Nembutsu teachings, as we listen to the Dharma, because of the fact we understand, or we are made to understand, the interdependence of all life, then we must realize we have to make the effort to share with others, to express kindness to others. So my challenge for you this week is to ask you to find something. It could be the smallest thing, but find something in which you can share kindness with others. And I hope that, and I look forward to seeing all of you again in the coming weeks for our service. And again, thank you to all of you who have attended. It's truly amazing that we have over 70 people in attendance in this not only cross Canada, but international service. And as we had today, Tanis help out. Thank you, Tanis, for the service. But in the coming weeks, we'll also have others helping out. There are a number of minister assistants who are participating in our services, so I'll be asking them to also give Dharma messages. So with that, I'd like to close the service portion. Oh, I almost forgot. At the beginning, normally we ring the kansho, the assembly bell, and I was reminded by Roy Akune, our minister assistant here, that I had forgotten to give him the cue to ring the bell. So I apologize, Roy Sensei, for not having the kansho bell earlier. But I'd like to close this service today with the recitation of the Nembutsu. So again, please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And now I'm going to unmute you all, and you can talk.